go ahead and call this meeting to order. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Here.
Mr. Matheson, Mr. Payne,
Here.
Ms. Reese. Here. Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Perkins.
Or here, excuse me. I'm reading. All right, at this time, we'll all stand. We'll have a moment of silence, followed by the pledge. And Mr. Holloway, will you lead the pledge? All right, Mr. Holloway.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mushrooms is one of my favorite things.
All right, I'd like to welcome everyone this evening to the April 11, 2024 meeting of the Johnson County Board of Education. It appears that we do not have any public comment forms as far as public comments. With that being said, we'll move on to our next item, which is our recognition of visitors and delegations. And at this point, I'd like to recognize Mr. Steve Willis, who's the Northeast District Director with TSBA.
Thank you, Trevor Robinson. Happy to be here tonight on behalf of the TSBA to recognize Johnson County School Board Director Sim Cox for the Board of Distinction Award. And I can see from your wall over here, you're no strangers to obtaining this award. I'm from Unicoi County, so don't throw anything at me No, I think I've been on our board there for going on 11 years, and this award is very indicative of a board that cares about their students, cares about their administration, and cares about their district. There's basic things that we as board members are expected to do, but obtaining awards like this tells me that this board goes above and beyond to serve its students and all the stakeholders here in Johnson County. It's something to be very proud of. I can relate a lot coming from Unicoi County. We have one high school just like you guys do, small county, and we're very challenged from a funding standpoint. So I know this board, obviously, by obtaining this award, they work diligently to make sure that every dollar that they get into their coffers is spent in the right way to serve the students and to serve this district and this great county. And so I'm happy to be here on behalf of TSBA tonight to present you with this award.
Come on.
We couldn't do it without Serena.
You're a very integral part of this too.
Oh, yeah.
She keeps you straight.
Well, we got one of those too. How do you want to do this? You tell me.
Oh, right here.
Alright, and a couple more.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Run, run, run.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. We need to switch.
I usually put that one here, and then we'll move that one
We're gonna let
underneath.
you have it.
We'll get Dustin to.
Yeah.
All righty, moving on. We'll move to our next item, which is it's not in the correct order on some of the agendas, but will be approval of the agenda. At this point, do I hear a motion that we approve this agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
I have a motion, so first by Mr. Payne. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Second, Mr. Holloway. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Matheson, Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Ms. Reese.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes. Rob, I'm getting a little bit of feedback on these mics. Can you dial that back just a little bit? All right, moving on to next is our consent agenda. We've all had time, we received this ahead of time. Is there anything that's on the consent agenda that anyone wants to have removed for us to discuss and vote on separately? Hearing none, do I have a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented?
Mr. Chairman, I make that motion.
All right. I have a motion by Mr. Holloway. Do I have a second?
No.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes. Item number 7, report of our student board member, Ms. Vanessa Perkins.
For April, we wanted to talk a little bit about National Poetry Day, which is today. So in honor of National Poetry Day and with the end of the year approaching, we had students and staff write haiku poems just to get involved a little bit more. And then I will let you guys read through. I have 6 example poems that people submitted that I thought were really good, just for you guys to look at. Along with Poetry Month, the public library is also having a competition for any elementary, middle school, or high school students. And the deadline is 5 p.m. on April 24th. If you would like to participate in that, there are cash prizes and more information on their Facebook page. Moving forward, I would like to recognize several things happening at the high school. First, HOSA had their state competition recently, and Isabel Katsadis placed second in her personal care competition, and the mental health promotion team placed third with Gaston Duggar, Lauren Bishop, Kendall Watson, and Vanessa Perkins. I would also like to congratulate 4-H for all their competitors that competed at the Eastern region in the horse judging contest. As well as I would like to congratulate the chemistry with Casey Sutherland and her students for the grant they received and all their hard work. Some important dates at the high school is April 12th will be the last baseball Holden game. April 12th and 13th will be the Wizard of Oz. And just a reminder that ticket sales at the door begin at 6 p.m. for anybody that would like to get those. April 16th is the NHS and the NTHS blood drive. April 20th is prom. May 2nd is a choir concert. May 6th is the PAEA Awards. May 10th is a Johnson County Middle School dinner and auction fundraiser. And the cheerleaders are selling donuts through May 11th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on, item number 8, approve the recommended tenure candidates. Sadie Fletcher, Jamie Davis, and Sarah Jennings.
Yes, and they are all 3 here, and I'd like to introduce them. We have Sadie Fletcher. Sadie, will you stand up? Sadie teaches 5th and 6th grade math at Doe. Then we have Jamie Davis. Jamie Davis is our special education teacher at Mountain City Elementary. And then we have Sarah Jennings. Sarah is our PE teacher at Mountain City Elementary and our head high school volleyball coach. And they all 3 do a wonderful job, and we highly recommend them for tenure.
I'll make a motion we approve all 3 for tenure.
I have a motion by Mr. Payne. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Reese. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes. Congratulations, folks.
Go care to come up here and let Tina get a picture? Do you care to come up here and let Tina get a picture?
I promise we don't bite.
Congratulations.
Moving on, item number 5, item number 9, 5-year plan. Upon developing the annual budget, facility updates improvements will be a focus. Dr. Simcox.
Yes, and just want to share, we're going to do something a little different this year when we do our 5-year plan update. We're going to give just a little bit information of things that we would like, that we're looking at for the future. This is just a 5-year plan of the focus of the major facility updates. Of course, this does not include everything. This is just the major things that we see over the next 5 years that we need to be looking into. That includes the windows at Roan Creek Elementary, HVAC upgrades at Johnson County High School, reconstructing the library space at JCHS to add 3 classrooms due to overcrowding. We talked about that at the board retreat. And then potential roof replacements at Johnson County High School and the old part of Mountain City Elementary. So those are just some major projects over the next 5 years that we feel like needs to be addressed. So just wanted to share that with you.
All right, moving on. Item number 10, approve TSBA 2025 membership dues. This is something we do on an annual basis, and TSBA does provide a lot of service back to us and support, our biggest being our online board policy.
Yes. They keep us in line with all the state laws and the new changes in legislative. So that right there in itself is worth it.
Yes. With that being said, do I have a motion that we approve the 2025 membership dues to TSBA?
Yes, I make a motion to approve it.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Payne. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Reese. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Ms. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes. Item number 11, it's hard to believe it's time to talk about this.
Yes.
Approved summer work list for 2024, I'm assuming that's for the summer.
That is for the summer. The list you have is Leon went around and met with every principal. He did find out, currently, again, we will not probably have inmate labor, which we have not had in several years. We are on the top of the list if that becomes available, but these are just jobs that our maintenance folks will be doing to help our schools get ready for when school starts in August. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them, myself or Leon.
I guess are all the principals pleased with this? Then I make a motion to approve it.
I have a motion by Mr. Payne to approve the 2024 summer work list. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Holloway. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Ms. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes. Excuse me. Item number 12, school level report card presentation.
We shared the report card presentation that came out in December. This was, the new one where they give us the school level grades, but they did not have the school information released then. Since that time, that has been released, and we did want to share how Johnson County Schools is doing. We do have Connections Academy, and they are our students as well, but we do want to share information of how our brick and mortar Johnson County students are doing, and they are doing really, really well, especially the 3 through 8 level. So we just wanted to be able to share and promote the positive things that are going on, because our teachers are doing a great job, our students are doing a great job, and we want you all to see that. So I'm going to turn it over to Stephen and Angie.
Thank you, Dr. Simcox.
Oh, you want me to?
You can click for us, thank you.
Okay.
A few years ago, we have historically been around 2,000 students in this district, and if you look us up online or any of our data, you'll see that there are roughly 5,000 students in the district now, and technically that's true as far as the students that are under our umbrella. But as Dr. Simcox said, when you look at the 6 schools that we operate here within the borders of the county, the students that have traditionally been our students, we wanted to look at that data and how it compares to the data across the region. So what's being officially reported, and it is officially correct because it involves all 5,000 of those students, are the numbers you see across the top there. 29.1% in 3 through 5, 28.9% in 6 through 8, and 22.7% in 9 through 12. That percentage is, of course, that is all the number of tests, math, English, science, social studies, the total number given, divided into the number that were met or exceeded the expectations, so passed. That's essentially the success rate, the state calls it. I put asterisk with the district because if you factor out just the 2,000 that live here in the county and go to these 6 schools, that 29.1% is actually 42.1% in 3 through 5. And in 6 through 8, it's 41.2%, and in 9 through 12, it's 25.8%. So there was frankly, a story that was ran lately about where we rank, and it was said, and, you know, by that top line, not incorrectly, that we were at the bottom in all three of those grade bands. So I wanted to highlight where it would be if it was with these 6 schools within the county. Angie, you want to, 3 through 5 is elementary, you want to talk about that?
I'm really, really proud of our teachers and our students, and I do share this with our teachers. You know, sometimes they get really disheartened whenever they see news stories and it looks like that we're not doing as well as truly we are in our district. So I'd actually shared some of this data with them early on, and but I know that they appreciate, you know, just being recognized for what's actually happening in our county. So whenever you look at just the county systems around us, now we compare, I share our data for all the districts in First Tennessee, and when you look at that, you know, sometimes we're a tick above some city districts and sometimes we're right below. But when you look at just the county systems, in the 3 through 5 grade band, the only county that is outperforming us is Washington County. And so I think that, you know, speaks very well of what's going on in our district. I'll let Dr. Long share the middle school grade band. That counts one of my grades, but
Yeah.
I'll let him share.
Yeah, the state regards anything in 6th as middle school, and a lot of districts have gone to 6-8 middle schools. But in 6-8, we're at 41.2%, and almost it's similar to the 3-5. We trail Washington County and also Greene, but only those 2 among the county schools. And if you saw that news story, which again, not disputing it, but if you saw it, it sort of broke city, county. So we sort of decided to present it this way for this purpose. But 6-8 trails only Washington and Greene. The 9-12 grade band, rather than being at 22.8%, is at 25.8%. And last year was a data dip for us in that grade, and there's some things we're gonna talk about that we're doing in all grade bands, but particularly in 9-12 to improve that in the future, and we believe that it will. This report card was released in December. So we haven't had a lot of time to make certain adjustments, but there's things that we're absolutely doing and will continue to do. So it's at 25.8. That is the lowest right now in the counties. Among the ones that were reported in the news article, it's not the lowest in First. First Tennessee runs from Cocke County all the way northeast to Johnson County. So we're at 25.8, that's a 10th behind Unicoi. It is ahead of Cocke County and Hancock County. If you go to the next slide, I want to highlight some of the things that we're working on, and these are things that we were already in the process of getting going. Some things we've been doing for a while, but we're adjusting based on what the data is telling us. I've mentioned this previously, TVOS in the last grade card, I won't deep dive it now unless you have questions, but TVOS on the new report card formula has an increased importance. They've weighted it heavier, and it actually counts twice with growth and then growth 25. So we've made the decision that we're gonna have to increase our focus on that, and that is what we often refer to as growth rather than achievement. So, and then EOC, that's high school achievement test. We're looking at the core instruction and the curriculum in all of those. We've adopted new curriculum 3 years ago in ELA. That was state approved, state mandated and state approved. And math, this was the first year of a new math adoption countywide and statewide. So we're a year into that new math curriculum that I think we're gonna see changes there. Consistency in teacher placements. At the high school, we've had difficulty in math. I'll highlight that one especially. Being able to allow teachers to have consecutive years of, like you teach Algebra 1, you've taught Algebra 1 for 3, 4, 5 years. We haven't been able to have that because of turnover. And that is something that we're optimistic this coming year, that we're going to be able to establish teachers within certain subject areas and hopefully leave them there and let them acclimate to teaching those subjects, because we have really hardworking and really dedicated and excellent teachers. But we just had some inconsistency there. We're working with the core office that is part of the Tennessee Department of Education. Every region has one. We're working with the core office math consultant as we work on that to continue with the curriculum implementation. As I mentioned, this was the first year of the new. Participation in the state's literacy implementation network, and then We've been doing this, but we're tweaking it for 7-12. Angie and the instructional coach for elementary have been doing it for a long time and have had a lot of success. We've started, and that's PLCs for grade levels and subject areas, so that's learning where they get to collaborate and think together and talk about how they're going to present their instruction moving forward. We're changing our focus in 7-12 from just the collaboration to talking about actual delivery of the lessons, and we've got some really good work planned in April, May, and June to get ready for a big day this summer, and then when we come out of that summer day, we should be ready to launch into the coming school year.
And I just want to add too, I want to thank our administrators here at Central Office and our school level administrators. I think if you ask them, they would tell you that Dr. Long and I have, and our instructional coaches have pushed them harder than they've ever been pushed to really be in our new curriculums, learning the curriculums, being able to provide, informative feedback to our teachers, that's going to make a difference. And I appreciate the hard work that they're putting in as well, like to learning this right along with our teachers. And so I just appreciate everything and how hard everybody's working.
Absolutely. I'll close by saying, data is important. The state places an emphasis on it. We certainly don't ever want to ignore it. But when we look at our students, we see them as the individuals that they are, and they are the reason that the school leaders, the teachers do what they do. So I want to thank our students, I want to thank their parents, and I especially want to thank our teachers and the people in the buildings who work with them. Thank you all for listening. Do you have any questions?
How consistent is the testing? I mean, we know what we're working at right now. Well, in 2-3 years down the road, are they gonna change?
The rigor.
Yeah.
Now, it's
Very
not the
likely.
same assessment that, that I gave.
Kind of like trying to squirt your grandkids with a water hose that keeps moving.
The test does change. Sometimes they leave the test the same, but they change the cuts, like what they expect you to get to be considered passing. And that, for instance, since you asked, I don't want to give you too much, but I'll give you all you want. We adopted new math standards to go with this new math curriculum. So in the fall, the high school took end of course tests, and they'll take them again in math this spring, along with 2nd grade through 8th grade. We won't get scores back officially. We'll get raw scores to make report card grades, but we won't know their proficiency levels until possibly September, because they're recalibrating. So we don't know. It's not the same. It won't be the same as last year, almost certainly. So standards changes do come. The biggest change for this year, and in fairness, the other counties had the same changes. But the biggest change this year was we didn't know what the report card was going to entail until right before they released it. And so like Growth 25, we didn't even know what that was. So we're working. Now we know what it is, we're focusing on it. And it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. So that's our commitment, because we want the best for our kids. But we just wanted you all to know, and this is nothing about any other schools in our district or anything like that, but with the schools that you all drive by when you travel this county and the schools you represent, they did better than what was presented, and they deserve for that story to be told.
Very good.
Is there anybody or any way you can track how our students do once they leave the high school, once they graduate and go into college or trade school?
That's an excellent question, and that's sort of something that the state is starting to emerge with now. They haven't really done a lot of it, but there's a couple of new dashboards that were just shared with us last week, I believe, where they're trying to track students on into post-secondary, whether they go into trades or whether they go into the military or the workforce. So that's something, we don't have good data on that, but I think that's something that the state's trying to establish and develop. It's a good question.
Thank you.
And I'll even go ahead and reiterate your comment about, we have some very hardworking teachers in this district.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, we ask a lot of our teachers. They have a lot given to them, at times thrown at them. Not dealing with just the pressures of trying to teach curriculum, but you also have to deal with all the other classroom environmental issues, the interruptions and all that go with it. We have an excellent, hardworking staff of teachers in this county. And a lot of them, are here for a reason, because they want to be here. even though a lot of them know that they can go somewhere else and make a lot more money than what they're making here, but they make that obvious choice to stay here, and that really says something about the caliber of the teachers that we have.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And they see their students as individuals, and on any given day, they may have a student that needs anything and everything except that lesson, and that student's gotta be cared for, and they try to meet the student's needs in all facets.
I mean, you know, it doesn't matter from, you know, if they need, you know, a pencil, notebook, paper, you know. I don't know how many times I've seen even my wife take money and buy stuff to give it to kids that she knows that are in need. And I mean, that says a lot. It says a lot.
They're very dedicated. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Next is our budget update from Tina Whitford.
Okay, you have the summary financial statement packet in front of you with all the accounts. Just some highlights. The school department, as of today, is 67.5% of revenue received and 48.9% of appropriations expended in the general purpose school fund, 43.4% revenue received and 65.2% of appropriations expended in federal projects, 47.5% revenue received and 78.9% of appropriations expended in central cafeteria, and Head Start, which is the fiscal year project, is 63.1% revenue received and 72.4% of appropriations expended. And these numbers were as of today.
Thank you very much. I know this morning the trustees' report came over, so I'll have revenue. Yeah, actually, you can't, I'm gonna give this one thing, I'll give that back to Sarah. All right. Moving on, next is our director's update.
Yes, before I get into some information, Angie wanted to share the child care survey results that she sent out to the Doe and Laurel communities. So Angie?
So Lori and I sent this survey out, and we received 9 surveys back from Laurel Elementary, and there was, out of those 9, there were 4 that said that they would be interested in childcare. 3 of those said only if it was offered at Laurel. 1 said that they would be interested even if they were bused to a different site. And then from Doe, we received 26 surveys back, and I have them if you want to look at them after the meeting, you're welcome to. We had 10 that said that they're not interested in anything. We had 16 that said, and there was just a wide variety, so that they would be interested in either before school, after school, snow days, summer, you know, but, and then not all of them were interested that, like, you know, in going to another site. So, but I have those if you would like to look at that. And we sent the information home about what it, you know, the number of students that it would take, you know, to fund a program, because like we had explained at the board retreat, you would have to have 2 people, you have to have 2 people on staff, you know, for childcare in case something were to happen. And in order, you know, when we figured that up, it would take 28 people paying the full amount to be able to self-sustain a program at you know, a location. So, you know, that's the results. You know, we are certainly open to a discussion, you know, if you'd like for us to work on a plan to try to transport kids to a site or something like that. But I've got the results if you want them.
Do you have any questions for Angie or Lori? Do you want to say we have U-Trust Teacher Appreciation Day coming up on May the 2nd? The PAFA Awards, the Presidential Academic Excellence Awards, will be May the 6th, like Vanessa said, at 6:30 at the high school. So please mark that in your calendar. That's a wonderful night when we get to honor and recognize those 6th, 8th, and 12th grade students. Graduation, I noticed Vanessa didn't have that, but she'll have it on there next time, will be Friday, May 17th at the football field at 6:30 p.m. And if it does rain, which it's not going to, we will have a rain date the next day. Do want to just remind everybody, the Wizard of Oz, I saw it this weekend. It was phenomenal. Those students did a wonderful job, and if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. And I love how they incorporated the chorus, the middle school program. our Jackson was the Cowardly Lion, and let me tell you, you did a great job. He was the best Cowardly Lion I've ever seen. So I applaud you to go see it if you haven't. I do want to share just an update, Mountain City Elementary update. If you haven't drove by, it's definitely taking shape. They are forming the sidewalks outside. So that's just a few pictures on that. This is the graphics going into the boys and girls restroom, which is right off of the gym. Just looks just like those, very similar to those. This is the vestibule with the window. You can see that from the road. They're forming the curb on the outside that will go around the building. Its current completion date is May the 8th. I know the weather's probably going to put that off a little bit, but we're still on track to be done. Hopefully in June. Just a little bit of update on Doe Roof. I think they're 98% complete. Mark had told me. The gutter work is underway. The HVAC unit has been put in above the kitchen. And then that just shows another HVAC unit. So it's almost completed. So just wanted to share those pictures. And I do want to wish all of our students good luck on the TCAP and EOC. Those tests start Monday and will be going on for the next 3 weeks. And so I know they're very well prepared, and I wish them the best. And that's all that I have.
With that, we have reached the end of our agenda. And at this point, I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
All right, have a second.
Second.
Mr. Holloway, we are adjourned.